Hello, good evening, and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include large gathering of women at CM Bungalow daily. A violation, says Manipur Congress. Demands legal action against government officials for violating MCC. Earthquake measuring 7.4 on Richter scale rocks Taiwan. 80 houses destroyed in Churachandpur by storm. News in details. The Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee (MPCC) has submitted an application to the Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, and the Election Commission of India (ECI) New Delhi, arguing for legal action against alleged violators of the Model Code of Conduct. Led by Malemhom Basalam, chairman of MPCC, social media and advocate Rabi Khan, vice chairman of the legal department of MPCC, the committee highlighted instances of purported violations in various government notifications and advertisements. The application specifically references notifications regarding the recruitment of 1,140 pre-primary teachers and the advertising of beneficiary schemes, including the Ima Nong Thang Leima Yai Pa Ting Bang scheme for women and the Prime Minister Awas Yojana Ji. According to the application, these notifications were issued despite the existence of the Election Model Code of Conduct, which was put in place for the 18 Lok Sabha election 2024. The MPCC alleges that the publication of these notifications during the MCC period constitutes a violation of the Model Code of Conduct. The application further points out that these notifications have been widely circulated on social media platforms, raising concerns about their potential impact on the electoral process. In light of these violations, the MPCC has asked the electoral authorities to take appropriate legal action against the individuals responsible for issuing the notifications. They emphasize the need for justice to be served in accordance with the law. Meanwhile, Vice Chairman of the MPCC's Legal Department, Rabi Khan, addressed the media at Congress Bhawan in Imphal, shedding light on the matter. According to him, between March 27 and March 31, a large number of individuals, particularly women, were observed visiting the official residence of Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. These visits took place in broad daylight and were reportedly witnessed by many locals, he said, adding that, furthermore, videos capturing the gatherings outside the Chief Minister's gate and individuals entering the premises have been circulating on social media platforms. While the exact purpose of these visits remains unknown to the public and was not covered by media outlets, he suggested that the involvement of numerous buses and transport vehicles indicates a coordinated effort. The Vice Chairman emphasized that the public is well aware of the reasons behind these visits despite the lack of media coverage. Expressing concerns over the alleged breach of the Model Code of Conduct, he asks for swift legal action against those involved. He confirmed that a formal complaint has been lodged with the Chief Electoral Officer Manipur's office seeking an investigation into the matter. Further, the Vice Chairman warned about the potential ramifications if the CEO's office fails to maintain and enforce the Election Model Code of Conduct, especially within the premises of the ruling MLAs, ministers, and the Chief Minister's bungalow. He cautioned that such oversights could lead to multiple instances of code violations across the state of Manipur. Meanwhile, A team of MPCC led by Malem Hombasalam, Chairman MPCC Social Media, and Rabi Khan also submitted an application to the CEO Manipur and ECI New Delhi for taking up necessary legal actions against the Model Code of Conduct violators in respect of an application for 1,140 pre-primary teachers and also advertising for many other beneficiary schemes by violating Code of Conduct. An earthquake measuring 7.4 on the Richter scale smashed Taiwan on Wednesday, killing at least 4 people and injuring dozens more. The quake additionally generated a tsunami alert on Japan's Yonaguni Island. This is the most powerful earthquake to strike Taiwan in 25 years, since a 7.2 magnitude quake hit the country's Nantou County in 1999, killing over 2,500 people and wounding over 1,300 more. The Taiwanese authorities reported 4 deaths in Hualien County, the epicenter of the earthquake, with more than 50 others injured. The government also reported that at least 26 structures in Taiwan collapsed as a result of the big earthquake, with more than half of them located in the county. At least 77 people are trapped across Taiwan after a powerful earthquake struck the island's eastern coast, CNN reported, citing the National Fire Agency. Authorities did not elaborate on the condition of those trapped, but said that rescue operations were underway. The 7.4 magnitude quake has killed 4 people and injured more than 700 others, according to NFA. Of those injured, 132 are in Hualien County, near the epicenter of the quake, the agency added. Meanwhile, authorities did not elaborate on the condition of those trapped, but said that rescue operation was underway. The tsunami warnings also prompted airlines and airports to suspend flights, which were later resumed. CNN reported that the power tremors that rocked Taiwan morning have damaged 125 buildings across the island, according to the National Fire Agency, NFA. About half of the damaged buildings are in Hualien County, near the epicenter of the earthquake, according to local officials. 4 buildings in the county had partially collapsed, Hualien County Magistrate Hu Tianwei said at a news conference on Wednesday. Residents from 3 of the buildings have been safely evacuated, while search and rescue operations continue at the 9-story Uranus building, which is leaning to the right after the ground floor collapse, so said, CNN reported. 22 people have been rescued from the Uranus building, with efforts still underway to contact 1 remaining resident, according to the National Fire Agency. Meanwhile, the Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong has offered condolences to the people killed in Taiwan and asked the Australian authorities to follow the advice of the local authorities. Australia's thoughts are with those killed and injured following the earthquake near Taiwan. DFAT officials in Taipei and Tokyo were working with authorities, but at this stage are unaware of any Australians affected, she posted on X. Please follow the advice of local authorities. Australians in need of emergency consular assistance should contact the Consular Emergency Centre on +612 6261 3305 overseas and 1300-555-135 in Australia, she added. The Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Ministry appreciated the wishes by the countries across war and said that support strengthens their resolve. Taking to X, the ministry said, "We appreciate the worldwide good wishes and prayers issued in the wake of the 7.2 earthquake and ongoing aftershocks. Support from allies and friends in moments of adversity touches our hearts and strengthens our resolve. Taiwan stands strong as an island of resilience."
生活圈，
中正汉口街品家77，
博爱特区核心热区站前商圈，
高规格精品住宅，亲民价格物超所值，是您入住台北市的最佳选择。
老屋改建购买新屋，首选品家，
良心品家，祝您成家。科技工。
爸爸不要太靠近，你退后。
At least 80 houses were destroyed in about 5 villages of Churachandpur district following the recent hailstorm or windstorm in the district over the last week or so. However, there was no report of the loss of human lives or casualties, nor that of other livestock. Sources said that on Sunday night, 20 houses were affected by the storm at Singjol village, 15 houses at Aibulon village, 5 houses at Khazang village, 5 houses at Paitong village, and 39 houses at Songdai village. There were also reports that some houses at Poizang village were also affected, but the number was not confirmed till the filing of this report. The additional DC of Churachandpur district, Thangboy Gangte, made a circular to all the SDOs of Churachandpur to submit a report in prescribed format at the earliest. The directive by additional DC since March 28, 2024 also asked all the sub-divisional officers to use the prescribed format circulated by the Directorate of Relief and Disaster Management, Government of Manipur, White Letter Number 1/25/RNDM-MISC/2016 PD dated March 27, 2024 that was enclosed with the order. A latest notification, effective from April 1 and issued by the Commissioner Home, said the state government has decided to maintain the status quo on the present disturbed area status in the state. The Manipur Home Department has extended the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, or APSPA 1958, for another 6 months in the state, excluding areas under the jurisdiction of 19 police stations according to a new notification. As per the Hindustan Times, the notification effective from April 1 and issued by the Commissioner Home said the state government has decided to maintain the status quo on the present disturbed area status in the state due to the prevailing security uncertainty posed by insurgent groups and keeping in view of the overall law and order situation in the state and the capability of the state machineries. The APSPA gives special powers to armed forces personnel in areas classified as disturbed areas to search, arrest, etc. to maintain law and order in such areas. It has been in effect in Manipur since the early 80s. However, in 2004, the provisions of APSPA were lifted from the Imphal municipality area covering 7 assembly segments. Subsequently, in April 2022, APSPA was revoked from areas under 15 police stations across 6 districts. Furthermore, the disturbed area notification was rescinded from 4 additional police stations from April 1, 2023. The state government, after thorough analysis of the law and order situation, has deemed it necessary to maintain the disturbed area status, acknowledging the sensitivity of the matter and the potential for public criticism, the latest notification said. Further, it will be premature to arrive at any conclusion or decision on such a sensitive matter without detailed assessment, thereby not appropriate to review the disturbed area status of the state at the moment, it said. Keeping in view of the above and overall law and order situation in the state and the capability of the state machineries, the state government has decided to maintain the status quo on the present disturbed area status in the state of Manipur, excluding the areas falling under the 19 police stations, the notification added. Now, therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 3 of the APSPA 1958, Act No. 28 of 1958, as amended from time to time, the Governor of Manipur hereby accords approval to declare the entire state of Manipur, excluding the areas falling under the 19 police station, as disturbed area for a period of 6 months, it said. The police stations areas which do not come under APSPA are Imphal, Lamphel City, Singdamay, Sakmay, Lamsang, Patsoy, Wangoy, Porompat, Hengang, Lamlai, Irilbung, Laymahong, Taubal, Bisnupul, Nambol, Moirang, Kakting, and Jiribam. Today at around 11 a.m., the sit-in protest was continued at the Wall of Remembrance Tuibung, organized and led by the ITLF Women Wing. The sit-in protest was conducted with the same aim and motive which had been demanded since last year May, but sadly not a single voice or concern has been raised by the central government. During the program, Kenneth Nasil gave a speech where he spoke about the cruelty and inhuman nature of the Meitei. He also speaks of the difference in lifestyle between the Kuki and Meitei. Evangelist Min Loon also gave a motivational speech to the protesters where he cited moral stories based on the Israelites. He also said that we should watch over the land God gave us with proper ethics. Some acts which seems righteous in the eye of man are not always right in the eye of God, such as corruption, he added. Thangam Haokip also gave a speech and he praised the women folks for conducting this sit-in protest every Wednesday and also thanked the men for sending their women to join the sit-in protest diligently. George Munlo, convener legal cell, also delivered a speech during the program. The program ended around 1 p.m. with a mass prayer by the protesters. The villages who come for the protest today include Chingkonpang, Dipailin, Hiltang, Tingkangpai, Konpui, Tang Nom, Pangzol, Valveng, Thavom area, Di Minzang, Tongdam, Song Sivok, Emmanuel Hupi, Lanba, Tolnom, Zozang, S Munnom, Hupgoveng, V Hunom, Silmat, Saikot, Songgil Unit, Bizang Unit, New Moltu, Taising Unit, Kamhangveng, Lingsipai, and Biu Latlen. Today at 12 noon, in regards to the collection done for the Zangna Dopna project, the Pisgat village submitted their monthly collection to the Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights Kohor at the office. Ngaine Kim Haokip, President Kohor, shared words of gratitude towards the Pisgat village women folks and also extended a message to the other villages to submit the Zangna Dopna project monthly collection before 15 of April at Kohor office, Circuit House, Bizang. The Zangna Dopna project focused on raising funds so as to help the families of our brave warriors who died while fighting in the front line. This project was adopted during the Kim General Assembly and entrusted to Kohor by Kim. So far, 8 villages had submitted their monthly collection of rupees 100 per every household with women. The President further said that she hoped for the kind cooperation of every woman and that the funds be submitted within the stipulated time. The District Election Officer, DC Imphal East District, writes that Superintendent of Police Imphal West District in regards to the ridiculous statement made by an intending candidate Moirang Team Totom Sana Nong Saba, requesting the officer to take legal action against Nong Saba for causing threat intimidation. The letter reads, I am to bring your notice to the show telecast live on 2nd April 2024 by the OTT platform, namely SKTV, wherein an intending candidate, namely Moirang Team Totom Sana Nong Saba, made derogatory statement against the Honorable Chief Minister Manipur by violating the provisions of the Model Code of Conduct. He even threatened the Honorable Chief Minister with physical harm by telling that he will kill him whenever he gets chance, which amounts to attack on the personal life of a person or a statesman, which is malicious, offending decency and morality. The letter continues to read, "It is needless to say that the Election Commission of India from time to time has been issuing instructions or advisories to maintain high standards while carrying out election campaign. However, such highly inflammatory and intimidating speech made by a contesting candidate has the effect of promoting feelings of enmity, hatred, ill will, and creating disharmony between and among the different political functionaries, which may ultimately vitiate the various initiatives and efforts being put in by the Election Commission of India in order to conduct a peaceful election. As such, you are requested to take legal action against Moirang Team Totom Sana Nong Saba under the provisions of Section 500, 503 and 505 of Indian Penal Code 1860, read with Section 125 of Representation of People Act 1951. Action taken report in this regard shall be furnished to the undersigned letters by 5th of April 2024, further reads the letter. As many as 54 members of the Rajya Sabha, including former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and 9 union ministers, are set to retire on Tuesday and Wednesday, with some not returning to the upper house. As per Press Trust of India, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ends his 33-year-long parliamentary innings in the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday, April 3. Just as former party chief Sonia Gandhi will enter the upper house of parliament for the first time. Manmohan Singh, who is known for ushering in several bold reforms in the economy, became a member of the House for the first time in October 1991. He was the finance minister in the Narasimha Rao government from 1991 to 1996 and the prime minister from 2004 to 2014. Sonia Gandhi will enter the upper house for the first time from Rajasthan, filling the seat that will fall vacant after 91-year-old Manmohan Singh complete his tenure on April 3. 7 union ministers, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries Minister Purushottam Rupala, Information Technology Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar, MOS External Affairs V. Murali Dharan, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Minister Narayan Rane, and MOS Information and Broadcasting L. Murugan end their tenure in the Rajya Sabha on Tuesday. Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav and Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw will end their tenure on Wednesday. All these union ministers are contesting the Lok Sabha elections except Ashwini Vaishnaw, who has not been given another term in the upper house. Besides, Ashwini Vaishnaw and Murugan have been given another Rajya Sabha term. As many as 49 members are retiring on Tuesday, April 2nd, while 5 are retiring on Wednesday, April 3rd. Of those retiring from the upper house include Samajwadi Party's Jaya Bachchan, who has been renominated to the Council of State by her party for another term. So is Manoj Kumar Jha, who has been renominated by his party RJD for another term in the Rajya Sabha from Bihar, and Nasir Hussain, Congress, who has been renominated from Karnataka. Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress Party, whose tenure in Rajya Sabha ends today, will not be in the upper house as he lost his election from Himachal Pradesh. Among others who will be retiring include BJP's National Media in Charge Anil Baluni, who is contesting the Lok Sabha election from Garhwal seat in Uttarakhand. Besides, BJP's Prakash Javadekar, a former union minister, and Sunil Kumar Modi, former deputy chief minister of Bihar, also retired from the Rajya Sabha and have not been renominated by the party. BJP's Anil Jain also retires on Tuesday, as he has not been given another term by the party, and so has Saros Pandey from Chhattisgarh, who is contesting the Lok Sabha election in the state. The rank and file of the Congress party in Eastern Nagaland have pledged support to the Chenmoho resolution spearheaded by the Eastern Nagaland People's Organization, ENPO. As per India Today, Northeast, this resolution staunchly advocates for the non-participation of the region in both central and state elections until the long-standing issue of the Frontier Nagaland Territory (FNT) is effectively addressed by the Minister of Home Affairs under the NDA regime. Expressing deep-seated discontentment, the Eastern Nagaland Congress issued a press release condemning the recurrent false assurances meted out by the BJP government and decrying and delaying tactics employed by NDA leaders. These tactics, the party asserted, have been strategically orchestrated to entice voters, all while failing to deliver on promises made. In a decisive move echoing the sentiments of the ENPO and tribal leaders, the Eastern Nagaland Congress has resolved to abstain from participation in both central and state elections, aligning itself firmly with the common cause championed by the ENPO. The significance of this stance is highlighted by the upcoming joint coordination meeting convened by the ENPO, scheduled to take place on April 6 at 10 a.m. at KU Hall, Mon Town. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar today said India will definitely get permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council, as there is a feeling in the world that it should get the position, but the country will have to work harder this time for it. He was speaking during an interaction with intellectuals in Gujarat's Rajkot city and was asked by the audience on India's chance of becoming the permanent member of the world body. As per Press Trust of India, the United Nations was formed around 80 years ago. 5 nations, China, France, Russia Federation, the United Kingdom, and the United States, decided among themselves to become permanent members of its Security Council, Jaishankar said. At that time, there were a total of around 50 independent countries in the world, which has over time increased to around 193, he said. But these 5 nations have kept their control, and it is strange that you have to ask them to give us their consent for a change. A few agree, a few others put forward their position with honesty, while others do something from behind, he said. This has been going on for several years, the minister said. But now, there is a feeling across the world that this should change and India should get a permanent seat. I see this feeling increasing every year, he said. We will definitely get it, but nothing big is ever achieved without hard work, Jaishankar said. We will have to work hard, and this time we will have to work even harder, he added. The union minister said India, Japan, Germany, and Egypt have put forward a proposal together before the UN, and he believes this will take the matter a bit forward. But we must build pressure, and when this pressure increases, there is a feeling in the world that the UN has weakened. There was a deadlock in the UN of the Ukraine war, and no consensus was reached in the UN regarding Gaza. I think as this feeling increases, our chances of getting a permanent seat will increase, he said. When asked about baby girl Ariha Shah, who was taken away from her Indian parents by authorities in Germany and sent to foster care, Jaishankar said he was personally aware of the matter and monitoring it. The girl has been given to the child services. We are dissatisfied with this. We do not want the child to be raised as per the German culture. Her parents have moved the court and the matter is being heard, the minister said. At my level, I have raised the issue with my counterpart. Our effort is to find some solutions, he added. In his address at the event, Jaisankar said India has provided in the last 10 years that democracy can deliver. The world is amazed at India moving towards 7% growth despite the COVID-19 pandemic hampering growth, he said. The world believes that India, as the fastest growing large economy, can become the engine of global growth, he said. The world understands that India has technological talent, he added. World agencies such as the UN understand India's achievement in social sectors like access to water, electricity, roads, health, schooling, etc. The External Affairs Minister further said, "We should understand that being the fifth largest economy on the way to becoming the third largest and with the biggest population, the world believes us to be talented people and expects us to contribute to resolve challenges," he added.
And very often, these are issues where the interests of many are involved, but the global debate is dominated by a few. So, it could be today about energy prices. It could be, a lot of countries have a debt situation today. It could be even about culture and heritage, that everybody doesn't want to be overwhelmed by other people's culture. So that sense today that India is trusted, India is well regarded, a lot of people want to see us. And it's a very interesting thing. In the UN, actually every year in different bodies of the UN, there are elections. You'll be surprised how many elections there are. I don't remember the number, but I can tell you it's at least in double digits. If you look, India is one of those countries which consistently does well in those elections. We often do better in those elections than the 5 who are already in the Security Council. So that should tell us something, that we enjoy in that sense the trust and confidence of the world. But again, as I said, look, we have this period, this 25 years is a very vital period for us. We have laid the foundation for that takeoff in these 25 years. And that 25 years will of course be years of transformation in India, but it will also change India's position in the world. That if you look at the businesses of future, these are businesses which will need Indians. If you look
14 top officers of the military wing of the extremist National Socialist Council of Nagalim, also referred to as NSCN Isak Muiva, have revolted against their commander-in-chief, Lieutenant General Anthony Ningham Simray. The 14 include A. Raman, the Deputy Commander-in-Chief, and Brigaders Y. Raleng and T. Vongdo Tu. In a statement issued by the eastern flank of the NSCN-IM, Naga's army on March 30, the officers has said that the Longvibu army chief had publicly proclaimed after his release from prison in 2016 that he was freed conditionally to bring the other armed groups in the northeast to the so-called mainstream. Wondering if Simray was an agent of New Delhi, the officers said that he tried to serve the interests of the government of India by neutralizing all the revolutionary groups in the region. The officers listed several instances where Simray allegedly worked against the Naga cause. These include withdrawing the NSCN-IM's command in Bangladesh in 2018, weakening the strength of the eastern flank Manipur, in league with R.N. Ravi, the former interlocutor for the Naga peace process, and justifiably shutting down the office of the Deputy Longvibu in Manipur. As an individual released on bail by the National Investigation Agency (NIA), yet conferred the position of Longvibu, and having considered his actions, we are certain that he is working diligently for the selfish interests of the government of India, the officers say, justifying their decision not to obey Simray's command. A reaction from the office of the Naga Army Chief is awaited. Israeli airstrikes destroyed the Iranian embassy's consular annex in Damascus Monday, Syrian and Iranian officials said, with a top Revolutionary Guard commander among 7 members the force said were killed amid worsening regional tensions. Israel said it would not comment on the reported attack, but Iranian officials vowed a stiff response with fears of even further violence between Israel and Iran's allies triggered by the Gaza war. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps named Brigadier General Mohammad Reza Jahedi and another high-ranking officer, Brigadier General Mohammad Hadi Haji Rahimi, as among 7 of its members killed. Britain-based War Monitor, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, said 11 people, including several Guards members, were killed when Israeli missiles destroyed the building of an annex to the Iranian embassy. The toll includes 8 Iranians, 2 Syrians, and 1 Lebanese, all of them fighters, none of them civilians. Rami Abdulrahman, who heads the observatory with a network of sources in Syria, told AFP. Iran's ambassador to Syria, Hossein Akbari, giving a lower toll, told Iranian Stat TV that at least 5 people were killed in the attack, which was carried out by F-35 fighter jets, which fired 6 missiles at the building. AFP reporters saw the annex building had caved in and emergency services were rushing to search for victims under the rubble as sirens wailed in the upscale Damascus district of Majeh. Security personnel shielded the site, where earth-moving equipment was brought in to clear the debris and remove charred vehicles from the road outside, watched by a crowd of onlookers. Syria's defense ministry said the attack destroyed the entire building, killing and injuring everyone inside, and work is underway to recover the bodies and rescue the wounded from under the rubble. Iranian Stat TV said Jahedi, a senior commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Foreign Operation Arms, the Quds Force, was among the dead. The observatory said Jahedi served as the leader of the Quds Force for Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon, adding that he was killed along with his deputy, his aide, and the Quds Force chief of staff for the same 3 countries. 2 other members of the Guards and 2 Iranian advisors were also killed in the strike, the observatory said. The targeted building is next to the Iranian embassy, the front of which is decorated with a large portrait of Qasem Soleimani, the architect of Iran's military operations in the Middle East, killed in January 2020 in an American drone strike in Iraq. The Damascus strikes were the 5th in a week to hit Syria, whose president Bashar al-Assad is supported by Iran, Israel's longtime arch-foe in the region. Syria's state news agency SANA had earlier reported that our air defense system confronted enemy targets in the vicinity of Damascus. Iran's ambassador Akbari vowed the attack will lead to our decisive response, adding, the Israeli attack on the Iranian consulate shows the reality of the Zionist entity, which recognizes no international laws and does all that is inhuman to achieve its goals. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian called for a serious response by the international community. Only the gate of the building was left standing after the attack, with a sign mentioning the consular section of the Embassy of Iran, an AFP journalist said. Window panes in buildings within a 500-meter, 550-yard radius has been shattered, and many parked cars were damaged by the blast. Syrian Foreign Minister Faisal Mekdad also denounced the attack after visiting the site, calling it a heinous terrorist attack, killing a number of innocent people in a statement carried by SANA. The Gaza war, which started with the October 7 Hamas attack on southern Israel, has devastated the coastal territory and also seen Israel and Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah exchange near daily cross-border fire. Israel has also struck targets in Syria, mostly army positions as well as those of Iran-backed combatants. Hamas condemned in the strongest terms the attack which it called a dangerous escalation. Moscow, a Damascus ally along with Tehran, blamed the Israeli Air Force for the unacceptable attack against the Iranian consular mission in Syria. The Damascus strike came 3 days after the observatory reported Israeli strikes that had killed 53 people in Syria, including 38 soldiers and 7 members of Hezbollah. It was the highest Syrian army toll in Israeli strikes since the Israel-Hamas war began, said the Monitor. Syria and Lebanon have become one extended battleground from the Israeli perspective, Riyad Kawaji, head of the Institute for Near East and Gulf Military Analysis, told AFP after the Friday strikes. The bloodiest ever Gaza war erupted with the Palestinian militants' unprecedented October 7 attack, which resulted in about 1,160 deaths in Israel, mostly civilians, according to an AFP daily of Israeli official figures. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.